Okay friends, so listen, important. Welcome to Chichen Itza. Something important we have to know about the city. We're gonna see just for the moment the most important ceremony center, okay? That is not the residential area of the city. If you see here, that is the place where I can explain you, and the resident area is right here, okay? If you want to visit the resident area, it's on the south, okay? Walking down over there. Anyway, I'm gonna explain you. The principal buildings we have in here is the ball court, Tompantli, the platform of eagles and jaguars, and for sure, the temple of Kukulkan, what we have in here, okay? The most expecting building everybody wants to see. So now we're gonna try to make a circuit. First, we're gonna go to the ball court where I can explain you, and after we're gonna pass it back, and we're gonna find out, or we're gonna end on the temple of Kukulkan, okay? So, it's important, friends, we're gonna walk in, okay? Probably we're gonna be in the sun, we're not gonna have too much shade, but I'm gonna try to make the most short explanation for you can don't be too much time on the sun, okay? So please follow me over here. In these lands, the city, it was completely abandoned, okay? There was not people living here in this place, so that's why they found all this place on ruins. What happens when you abandon it on a place? Well, the jungle, the nature, retaking the space again, and that's why it was destroyed. When they first explored, they found Chichen Itza, it was all the buildings almost destroyed, okay? All the things you can see here, it was that trees, what it was on that temple. The temple you are looking right now over there on the front, okay? So the archaeologists, they're restoring all this place where we can have a good idea about the city. Something important, the buildings just are restoring in about 60 or 70% of these buildings. The buildings are not complete because all the stones what it was there, well, are not complete for the different reasons. First, the conquest, the same stones they're using for build the new houses, the new church, during the conquest in this place. So that's why are incomplete all that pieces what it was in this place. So now we are gonna walk inside to the ball court, but before we go there to see all the images we have in there, let me explain you about the ball court. The Mayans, they using that cycle what it was passing during the life and the death. So that's why they represent with a ball game. The Mayans, they using or they making this game using an rugged ball. And that rugged ball, it was a little bit heavy for around 3 or 4 kilos, and they hit them with the hips, knees, and elbows. Okay, for they can try to pass in through in the rings what you have on the walls of that place. Okay, so the ball court we have in here is the most bigger ball court we have in the area Mayan. So that's why it's one of the most impressive here in Chichen Itza. So Chichen Itza, the correct name of this place by the archaeologists, they give us the traduction or the translation of the name, like Chichen Itza, what means the mouth of the well for lineage Itza. Okay, that means the name of this place. Something we have to know about Chichen Itza, just royalty was living here in this place. The city was protected by walls and all around of the city. What is making is just the high class people living here inside and the low class outside, okay, the rest of the dwellers. There is not an exactly number, but the archaeologists and anthropologists, they think it was living for around 4,000 people here in the city, including the royalty and the dwellers it was outside, okay? So it was an important city, it was a bigger city, and for sure, one of the most strong. Different commercial things they make Chichen Itza, it takes many influence from Central Mexico, and they bring us here for they can make the new buildings and also all the decoration we have in here in this place. Okay, so now the ball court or the ball game it can playing by different or different players. It can have different players. It can be 1 to 9 players. And these ones, it shows us for the carvings we have in here, where it was 7 players by team. And we're gonna look, we're gonna see right now. Okay, you ready? This one. Okay. The second one is in a building similar than the ones you are looking right now. But in the second one, also they making in a chamber like the ones we have in the top, okay, or in a temple. Inside to that place, well, the archaeologists they found some thrones with the principal person, what is the ruler, possibly was there taking decisions about the city. And the thrones what they found is this one, is the red jaguar throne. In the red jaguar, they have red spots. They will simulate the spots of the jaguar have on the body, but these ones are incrustation of jade what it has on the robe. Okay, so that's why it makes one of the most impressive things what we have in here in this place. And the second things why the people they selected, well, in 2009, an archaeology they discovered where there exists an cenote underneath of this temple. Okay. The cenotes, remember I told you, they have connections to each other, where it's possible for different caverns, you can dive in and get to the other ones. So that happens on the cenotes we have in the rounds of Chichen Itza. They discover all that connections with this getting at the main place, where is these ones, and the cenote exists underneath of here. So, but also, there is another thing of the Mayans or the people they believe in. It's an important place. Remember that section of the of that countings we have in during the year, or how they getting all that numbers of 360, yeah, by the suns. The circuit is making the suns from the north to the south. Well, also it reflects on these buildings. Remember that first countings it's making from the north to the center with 91 days. Well, represents one part of the stairways. Each stairways have 91 steps. And the temple have 4 sides. We have 4 stairways. Give us a total of 364 steps. And the last one is represented for the temple we have in the top. Give us a total of 365. Okay, and also the sounds you're gonna hear in a minute, that sounds many engineers they thinking it's similar than the sounds it's making this bit. The quetzal, exactamente. So the quetzal is the ones of the in the mythology, if possible, represents at this god Quetzalcoatl or Kukulkan. Okay, why? Because when the bird is flying on the sky, the long tail it's making as waves like a snake on the ground. So that's why they believe in it was that feathered snakes. It was on the skies, and also it can found in all the jungles. So the sound is possible when we make a clap because we produce a frequency. And that frequency, it climbs on the stairways up to get inside to the chamber and sounds similar than this. Important, it's just a theory. We don't know, or we are not exactly sure if the Mayans they make with that proposal, okay? Because it's something what we discovered just for a coincidence. And also it can be just a coincidence, or the Mayans they did for that purpose. We are not sure. But what we are sure, the ground we are stepping right now is not the original ground of this city. Underneath also there is a huge platform where it's covered all the ceremony center, and we can show all the bits we have in there. There is another platform where it's making. So the sounds is this one. Just hear very clear. You hear?
Yeah.
Now, it just gets closer and at 70% equally than the sounds it's making the guitar. We don't know exactly if we making a dig and we're reaching at the original step or the original grounds of this place, it can make equally and 100%. Okay, but what we know is that frequency is traveled and it's get insights and making the chamber or the room amplifies that frequency and making the sounds. It's not gonna work if I make a different sound. For example, if I say, well, I have to wait. For example, if we make another kind of sounds, it's not gonna sound similar than the ones you are hearing right now. And also, something what is important, depends how hard we make in the clap, the sounds or the sounds is not gonna change. It's gonna be the same. The only is gonna change is the volume we're gonna give it. For example, like this. You hear? So the sounds, it doesn't change. It's the same all the time. Okay. So that's why the most important is working here are these frequencies we are making, not exactly the sounds. Because for example, if we're making the sound and a sound with our voice, it's gonna make different frequencies, but it's not gonna work with that chamber. Okay. So that's why it's making one of the most important buildings. And also for these important things, or the Mayans, they use it like an astronomical point mark and using for counting all these cycles more hard. You just have to hit your palm of your, okay? Yeah. Just make like a cone here, and when you hit your clap, have to sound like this. You get it? Yeah? $1. Take two for $1. Like, ¿trabajo o no trabajo?
Le prime 7 spigole si vanno progettando sopra questo muro.
¿Tienes otra mole al otro lado? ¿Por qué no? Come on.